In this tutorial, we will have a look how we can make this slow motion effect. So if we collide with these blocks, as you can see, we are making slow motion effect, and you can implement this to any game object that any game that you are working with. So you can do that. I'm gonna cut this tab. So we're gonna do that, and before we jump into the coding part or in this tutorial, I want to thanks Marian, Monreal, and Danlock for donating on Patreon. And if you want to do that, guys, you can do on Patreon, and you will unlock many benefits. And also I have some amazing courses on Unity 6 and C# coding you can check out on Udemy, and those are awesome, so you can check that out. So without furthering delay, let's dive into this tutorial. Let's open up our script. So I'm gonna select my player game object in the hierarchy, and let's double click on this player script in order to open that up in Visual Studio. So as you can see, once we colliding with those blocks, I'm just printing out a message says collided with blocks, as you can see. So we also want the slow motion effect, so we're gonna do that. And we want for slow motion something around 1 second. So we need to do some certain thing. Basically we just want to do some certain things after some period of time, and before that we're gonna do like slowing down our time and like that. So if you just want to delete some line of code, then we need to use a different function, and it's called IEnumerator. So before you use IEnumerator, you need to go to top of your class, and you need to include this namespace. It's called using system.collection. So make sure you just include this namespace in top of your class. It's gonna allow us in order to use that function. So we're gonna do it somewhere over here. So normally what we do for function, we type this void. So we want to delay some line of code or something, we just want to do some period of time, some certain thing, then we need to use this IEnumerator. Kind of bit weird, but we need to use that, and we have to name the function what we want to name it. So I'm gonna call it something like slow down time, something like that. So let's call it slow down time and make first bracket and some curly brackets. So over here what we have to do, we're gonna type this yell. So let's do that. So I'm gonna type over here yield return. We need to type this statement yield return, wait 4 seconds. So and let's make first bracket and then close that up with semicolon. So after you need to put this time over here, after how much amount of time you just want to specific things. And before you do, you can also do some specific things before the times is up. So I'm gonna put something like 1f, basically 1 second. So what I basically want to do, I just firstly want to slow down my time. So I'm gonna make this comment by double forward slash, something like slow down time, slow down time. And after this amount of time, I just want to get my time back to normal. So let's get time to normal, something like that. So what we're gonna do now, over here, so before this amount of time, I just want to slow down my time. In order to slow down our time, we need to use this time dot time scale. So this is our variable of time dot time scale, and if you set equal to 1f, something like that, it's basically means this is our normal time. So if we set time dot time scale to 1, it's basically means the normal time, or the time or the game running with this time, or basically the normal time. So we just want to slow down our effect. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna divide with something. Let's suppose if we divided with 2f, and now the time will be 2 times slower. And if we divide it with something like 5f, sorry, if not 2, I'm really apologize, if I divide it with something like 2f, it's gonna be something like 8 times slower. And if we divide with something like 5f, then our time will be 2 times slower. But I want to slow down my time something like 10 times slower. So I'm gonna make a variable for this so I can adjust in the inspector. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move over to my top of our class, and I'm gonna make a variable for this, and I'm gonna make this one public. So let's make this one public, that will be float, and I'm gonna call this something like slow down amount. So let's call it slow down amount, and by default I'm gonna set equal to something around 10f, and let's close that off with semicolon. And let's replace this 5f with our slow down amount, and the slow down amount by default we have chosen, which is 10. So 1 divided by 10 just gonna be 0.1, means our time will be 10 times slower. And once we playing around with our normal time, the fixed delta time also get affected, so we need to set that as well. So what we basically have to do, we need to type this time dot fixed delta time, and we need to set equal to and we're gonna type time dot delta time. So time dot delta time right over here basically means change in frame rate. And if you want to learn more, if you just want to learn more about this fixed delta time and this delta time, then I'm gonna have a video in the description, you can go and check that out. So this time dot fixed delta time also get affected once we playing around with our time, also basically making our time 2 times slower or lesser, something like that. So we're gonna divide this time dot delta time as well with our slow down amount. So we're gonna type time dot delta time divide by slow down amount, and let's close that up with semicolon. Now our time is now slow, and if the time is now slow, then we cannot put something like new, sorry, we need to use this new wait for second. So yield return new wait for second, so you need to make this. I'm really apologize and haven't put this new right over here. And over here what I'm gonna do, so the time is 10 times slower, so that's why I'm gonna put 0.1f. 0.1f, now it's gonna reference 1 second, but I want slow down amount something around 2 second, or a little bit or less than a little bit with our 2 second. So I'm gonna put something around 0.15 5, something like that. And after this amount of time, I also want to get back our time to normal. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy this line of code by Control C, and let's paste it over here by Control V. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this time dot time scale to something 1, so the time just gonna be normal. And this also we need to set this time dot fixed delta time to normal. So what we're gonna do now, instead of dividing, we're gonna multiply with our slow down amount, which we divided with our time dot delta time. As you can see, we divided with our slow down amount, as you can see. And now after that we just multiply it with slow down amount, so this fixed delta time also just gonna get back. So firstly we setting time dot time scale to equal to 1 basically referencing by now normal time. And also we just change it this one, as you can see, which is our fixed delta time. And what we have to do now, we need to call this function. And this function, what it's gonna do, firstly it's gonna slow down our time 10 times slower, as you can see. And after this amount of time, yield return new wait for second. So make sure you just using that, and make sure you also put this new, I just forgot to do it. So you need to put this, which is yield return new wait for second. So after this amount of time, we just setting back our time to normal, as you can see. So time dot time scale we just set equal to 1f, which is normal time. And also we set the time dot fixed delta time equal to time dot delta time multiplied by slow down amount, which we divided with. Now we also need to call this function. So instead of printing out message, so as you can see, we colliding with the blocks over here. So and we printing out message. So instead of doing this, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call this slow down time function, and this function just gonna do these things. But this is a IEnumerator function, so we need to call it a little bit weirdly. So firstly we need to type this start coroutine, so type as I did over here, and in this bracket we need to call the function. So the function is slow down time. So let's call the function, which is slow down time, and then make this first bracket. Basically we need to call the function inside these brackets of coroutine, and we're gonna close that up with semicolon. So once we collide it with those blocks which is coming from the top, then we just calling this slow down time function, as you can see, and this function just doing these things. Firstly, it's slowing down our time 10 times slower, and after this amount of time we just getting back our time to normal, as you can see. Now we're gonna press down Ctrl S to save our script, and let's move over to Unity, and you will see that, sorry, what I'm gonna do, so let's put this one over here. Let's press down Ctrl S to save our script, and let's move to Unity. And you can make that wait 4 seconds, you put the number which is 0.15. You can make that one public as well, so you can adjust underneath your player script in inspector in Unity editor. It's totally up to you if you just want to make a variable for that. Now we can see underneath our player script we have the slowdown amount which is 10. So let's click on this play button in the top and let's take a look on it. So as soon as we're gonna collide with those blocks, you will see the time will be 10 times slower, and after something like 1.5 seconds the time will just gonna get back to normal. So let's see, as you can see it seems too much pretty much cool. So once we colliding with, we can see the time just getting at slower, which is 10 time, and after 1.5 second 1.5 second, sorry, 0.15 second, which or 1.5 second you can say as well. So time just getting back to normal. So I'm gonna get out of play mode. So I hope you get the idea that how you can make your time slower in Unity, or how you can make slow motion in Unity to any game you working with. So I hope you get the idea, and lastly, thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.